Hey there, crazy people. How you doing? It's Lucas Johnson back again. On Thanksgiving today. So it's about 10 o'clock at night. I don't know why I find the need to record videos at past 10 o'clock at night. I feel like maybe one would figure out that it'd be better to record it at some point other than 10 o'clock. But, I don't know, I guess not. Anyway, speaking of Thanksgiving, we had dinner here with our immediate family, and then this morning we were out, with our uncle, who made a Thanksgiving brunch with the rest of our extended family on my father's side. So, it turned out pretty good. But anyway, really, Thanksgiving is a holiday where traditionally it's seen as the time to appreciate one's family, give thanks for your family, give thanks for your blessing, and, eat a lot of food. I think I myself got a good little bit of jiggle now, a little more jiggle. It's pretty good. So I know I'll go to bed full tonight, and there's still plenty of turkey. If I don't, I'll just go and pick at that. Probably still will, because the turkey's got to get eaten at some point, right? But anyway, I figured today, since I got time and it's Thanksgiving, I'd record a video about family. And I guess I might as well keep with the whole theme of on high schoolers, since my last two videos have been on high schoolers. Oh, by the way, my last video got 126 views. Now, that's not a lot. I fully acknowledge that that's not a lot of views. But I don't know, if you watched it, thanks, because I thought I was going to get, I think the other one has 1 view, but, hey, that's cool. Really, I have to keep in mind the whole thing about the YouTube videos. They're for me to keep a log of what I believe and kind of state it, and then I can go back to it as a reference, even if it's not a very good one. It's something, right? But, it's nice that, 126 people thought it was interesting to watch. But, yeah. Where was I? Anyway, since my last two videos have been on the patterns that high schoolers follow in their day-to-day lives and what they believe, I'm going to be talking today about high schoolers and their relationships with their family. And be aware, this is not simply going to be about high schoolers. I know it's going to bridge off into society, so pardon me if it's a long video. Of course, after saying that, it's going to be like 10 minutes, if that. If I say it's going to be short like the last one, it's going to be like a half an hour, which is not short. But, today I guess I say it may be long, but I guess it'll be short. Another one that's off the cuff, because I prepared for the first one. It took too much time, but it's also only the third one. I may make more that I prepare for, but this one, nah. So, I'm going to start off with my family. I touched up briefly on it in the first video, if my memory serves. I was homeschooled for, what would it be? If I went into high school I was high school for 14 years. I went in at 9th grade, so I homeschooled up until 8th grade. So did all my siblings. And my mom's a stay-at-home mom, and my dad works but he was still at home quite a bit. So we were able to form a very tight bond as a family, and that's kind of, like I said it in the first video, it's a fucking gift. Holy crap. Pardon the French. But coming into school, I realized that having a good relationship with your family is hard to find, at least with people that talk about their families. I've met a few people that talk highly of their families, but I feel like, from what I've seen when it comes to family, either you don't care about them / hate them, or you're too scared to say anything about it. I've heard a couple good things about family, but most of it's negative and just putting down your family. I fucking hate that. But, you know, call me a pansy all you want. I've been called a pansy, you know, for trying to not retreat, but kind of draw comfort from my family being a strong institution, a rock, so to speak. But I don't really care, because the thing is that when you don't have, even if you don't have, and before I get farther, I'm not saying that you have to have a good relationship with your family no matter what, because guess what? I've known many people that don't have a stable, loving family. That's difficult as fuck. I don't know. I can only sympathize with these people. But I can't even fucking imagine. Like, I've heard stories that fucking kill me. You know, I've heard a lot of stories from foster parents. Holy shit. You've got to, not disclaimer, side note, you've got to be one fucked up person to do something to a kid. I understand doing something to somebody who's done something to you, but to a fucking kid. Holy shit. Motherfuckers fucked up in the head. Deserve to be shot. But, you know, something else too, like Halloween was not too long ago. We had a guy in our state, I live in Connecticut, I forget which town it was, but he had razor blades fall into his candy. You know, the people that do stuff to Halloween candy. You gotta be one fucked up person to do something like that. You know, you get kids coming to your door and you're gonna trick them and give them stuff to hurt them. Like, what the fuck, man? You've gotta be fucked up, to say the least. Holy shit. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic. So, I apologize for that. But I'm not saying that you have to have a good relationship with your family. But what I'm saying is that, what am I saying? You know, that's a good question. It's like, you know, like a joke that my dad told me. Physicists are at the foot of a building, and it's like, who are we? Or not physicists, philosophers. Who are we? Philosophers. What do we want? You know, that's a good question. What do we want? Cracks me up. Funny joke. Anyway, what was I talking about? What am I talking about? I'm saying, and I'm gonna paraphrase Jordan Peterson, because I watched a lot of his stuff. He's really good. You have to make an effort to have a good relationship with your family. You have to try. Because really, let's take a step in the Catholic direction. Falling in love is one thing, but rising in love is another thing. You have to work. Love is a commitment. It is. You know, There's a saying I heard, and I don't know who said it, but, you know, sometimes it's really easy to die for a person. Sometimes it's not so easy to live for a person. And really loving someone is a lifelong commitment, you know, in marriage till death do us part, for better or for worse. That's a commitment. You have to, that means that you give yourself to this person for life. And even if it's not a marriage, even if it's a friendship, a good friend is somebody who's going to help you in your darkest hour, or whatever the expression is. But when you need help, they're going to be there. But it's not simply something. It's like the difference between being in like and in love. We kind of throw the word love around a lot as a society, but really, when people talk about being in love, more often they're talking about being in like. They like the other person. They like the other person physically. They like some things about them, and they ignore the rest. Well, no, you're not in love. You're in like. But that's vague. I stole that from a Blimey Cow video. So, you know, there's the homeschool coming out. So, full disclosure. But with high school students, and really as a society, we've devalued the family to a point where we don't even try. Now, there's a whole argument about high schoolers and what they don't try. Family's just one of the many things that they don't apply themselves in that maybe should be applied. But, you know, for fuck's sakes, you'd think that when it comes to your family, you'd make an effort, but it's not the case. And it's fucking sad. It's sad. You know, I said in the first video that I live in a bubble, but being homeschooled. And seriously, I'm not joking about that. I'm absolutely dead serious. You know, the homeschooling group that I was in, we all had very, very strong relationships with our family. And now, correlation is not causation. I understand that. But the people in the homeschooling group that I've experienced, even though I will totally admit, they're more socially awkward. They're less social. Same difference. They're weird. They're just weird people. A lot of them are Jesus freaks. I'd like to say that I'm a Jesus freak, but you know that's not the case. I know that, which is unfortunate. But they're weird people. Holy crap! On paper, it doesn't make sense why you'd hang out with them or be with them. But in reality, they're some of the happiest people that you will ever be around, especially ones that have good relationships, know how to form good relationships, and have God at the center of their lives. It's fucking astounding. And then you get into high school, and you have secular atheists that do not have good relationships with their families. And it may seem odd that I throw secular atheists in there, but it's not. Like, you know, if you're a theist, if you're a Catholic, okay, and you don't have a good relationship with your family, oh, that's the chair moving. If you're a Catholic and you don't have a good relationship with your family, you still have something to lean on, which is that God loves you more than you can know. One of the oldest lines in the book, I admit that, but it really is underestimated how powerful a thing it is to be able to think, even if you don't believe it, even if you just have to think it, and it's something to be awed at. Wrong choice, or wrong use of words, but that someone loves you regardless of who you are. Fucking amazing. It's crazy. But You know, when you get into school and you deal with these secular atheists that I was talking about that don't have good relationships with their families, what are they going to lean on? They have very few things to lean on, and very good few things to lean on, because, you know, when the first thing that comes to my mind when you're saying, well, if you don't believe in God and you don't have a good relationship with your family, what are you going to lean on? Well, you're going to lean on friends, and, you know, you're going to seek to be popular now, even if you have a good relationship with your family, even if you're a theist, even if you're a person of great faith, you're still going to want to be popular, absolutely, no doubt. But the thing is that when you're a theist or a Catholic that believes in God and has a good relationship with your family, it's not the only rope you're hanging on to. It's not even the main rope you're hanging on to. If you're a person who doesn't have a good relationship with your family and doesn't believe in God, then guess what? That's your main rope. And it's a very, very, very thin one. You know, blood runs... And then you'll have other people like, well, so what? Those friends are people. Well, so is your family. Well, yeah, but blood runs thicker than water. You have to understand that. You know, you can have some very good friends, but in the end, the hierarchy of who cares about you, being Catholic and being real, even if you're okay, let's look at the secular belief. The hierarchy of people who are going to love you most are those who are obligated to love you and those who know you the best. Okay? And that's going to be being Catholic, God, but then it's going to be your parents, and then it's going to be your siblings, and then it's going to be your best friends. And I'm sure there are other people, but there are none that come to mind, you know. And on the thing of siblings, there was a picture that I saw of a little girl that's hanging out with a little boy. And you don't know what they are, but you get it as you read the caption. But the caption is that after father, the safest place for a girl is her brother. It's not a joke. Your family isn't. Your family's a different set of people than your friends, because your friends, if you look at a good family and good friends are there for you, right? But they don't, I don't want to say have to be, but really, I can't think of any other words off the top of my head. They don't have to be. Family, they have to be there for you. Wrong choice of words. No other words come to mind. But it's friends will move on quickly. Family can't. And this isn't to say that all families can't. Let me tell you, as I said before, I know some people with stories that keep me up at night, and I can't relate to them in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know these families. I really don't know the people very well. But it fucking keeps me up at night. Especially foster parents. Holy crap. Again, the fucked up kind of person that you have to do to something to do something to a fucking kid. Holy shit. Go die in a fucking hole. But, you know, it'd be better that you have a millstone tied around your neck and thrown into the sea. But anyway, what was I saying? These kids don't have... The best thing that they have to lean on is their friends. And that, in my opinion, which means shit. I'll say that right off the bat. I understand. My opinion is irrelevant. It means jack shit. But anyway, it leads to despair. Because, as I said, friends move on very quickly. Which means that you have to stay popular. And staying popular can mean worse and worse and worse. You know, I don't have any empirical evidence to back up this idea, but I think anecdotal evidence is not emotional, but personal experience. So my anecdotal evidence is that people That's my anecdotal conclusion, not my evidence. Anyway, people are drawn to bad people. If there's a good person and a bad person, the vast majority of people in the vast majority of situations are going to want to spend time with and be like the bad person. I am not deep enough to tell you why. I can tell you that right now without a shadow of a doubt. But it's just my experience. Where am I going with this? That means that in order to be popular and getting worse and worse and worse, I'm supposed to say popular, and it doesn't. That's not always the case. But the bottom line is that even if you don't get worse, you have to live your life so as to be popular, since you don't have anything else to lean on besides your popularity, which leads to a road, which leads down a path that ends in despair, without a doubt, because you're not living your life as who you want to be, for one, but two, how you should be. More so the latter, but because really ultimate fulfillment is found in serving your purpose, and serving your purpose in this world is being the best person that you can possibly be. But anywho, that's why, I talked about the morality of high schoolers. I think that's part of that's probably part of the reason that high schoolers don't seem to be so morally upright. It's like, why am I rocking in my chair? I don't know, but it's comfortable. High schoolers don't seem to be popular. Well, when you have to be popular, and part of that means rejecting your family, you're led down a road of immorality, because why? I can't answer that question, so maybe I shouldn't make that statement. But anyway, I'll move on. That kind of leads to a broad set of answers and a whole new set of questions. But anyway, I'll move on, not to segment, because segments, that's stupid. I don't do segments. I do videos, and I don't do any cuts, because I'm operating off a cell phone and just uploading it to the YouTube overlord gods. But anyway, who cares? So if they're screw-ups, just leave them in, for fuck's sakes. This isn't professional. This is a log for myself and anyone else who gives a shit. But I've got my handy dandy green Jesus book here, and one of the things that it says that kind of sticks out is family life is an initiation into life and society. Think about it. You don't have to be Catholic to get that idea that, your family life should teach you how to function in society. Family... When you're born and you're a little kid, the only thing you have is your family. So, what you need while you're a child, being totally dependent, is for your family to teach you how to live in society, how to conduct your life in a manner that is moral and leads to heaven and out of hell, how to form relationships that are strong and good, how to enrich the lives of the people around you out of selflessness, not selfishness. and other things like that. But when all you have to learn, and kind of going back, I apologize because I didn't think this through, as I said, off the cuff in the beginning of the video. But it's leading back to the beginning of what I said I was moving on from, which is that when you aren't given when you aren't in a family that really teaches you how to conduct your life in a moral manner, how to interact in society, in our day and age, you're taught by the school system. You know, I've heard people address it, and I've addressed it myself as the school district is today what nurses were in Shakespeare's day, you know. But funny story, I won't tell it because we're already at 25 minutes. But the schools have become a babysitter, a nanny, a free daycare service, you know. It's no longer about education. You're indoctrinated. You learn to be an employee. It's an industrial system. We know it doesn't work. It doesn't. Simple as that. It worked when we had factories and needed to fill factories, but now that factories are taken over by robots, you know, you have to figure out how to adapt, and our whole system of work, the workforce, is so much more diverse nowadays. You know, the majority of people aren't working in repetitive jobs. The majority of workers that are doing work that gives a damn, or that is worth a damn, is very unique and independent. But anyway, whole different subject. But anyway, when you're and not only, I should get back to this. Not only does it not work, an institution, treading on thin ice here. An institution like the school districts cannot teach you how to be moral in the correct sense of the word. Institutions such as schools can teach you how to be moral in the sense that you are succeeding in schools and an industrialized system. Now, morality is not subjective, so it's objective. So they're not teaching not in retrospect. So they're not teaching you how to be moral. They're teaching you how to work well in an industrialized system like the schools that we have. They teach you how to think their way. They teach you how to get good grades. They don't care about education. They don't care about learning. They care about the grades you get. What else? Where was I going with that? And that leads to, and since you don't have a family, which means that you get your, you get your crutch of what to lean on as a person from popular culture and your friends and being popular, and you learn it from the schools. Those are some of the worst things that I could possibly think of to teach you what is right and wrong and how you should live your life. I mean, seriously, you know, you can't see it, but I'm doing this kind of thing with my hands because, well, they're down here on my knees and the camera's up here to about, you know, my nipples, my tits. But, bad humor. I'm gonna demonetize the wrong word. You know, I hear that a lot on big YouTube channels, but, you know, seeing as I have, I think, a whole 127 views on my entire channel. No, it's not demonetized. That's stupid. But anyway, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. I hate it when that happens. The two things that are teaching you your basic sense of right and wrong are pop culture, popular culture, and the school system. The school system is industrialized, so they're only going to teach you how to succeed in an industrialized manner, and really nowadays, how to be nice and how to shut up. I don't like that. Not a bit. And popular culture, it changes. You have to understand. It's relative. It's subjective. That's not what morality is. And if your whole life, and really the thing is with popular culture too, it must be touched up on. Popular culture, the goal of, not goal, what is going to help you succeed in popular culture is learning how to please people, not always in the right manner. So, the two things that are teaching you what is right and wrong is an industrialized system that doesn't really open the idea of thinking, but actually shuts down thoughts under the guise of learning to be nice and tolerate people. And really, one second, just going to time out for a second here. There's a difference between acceptance and approval. I can accept someone, but you're forcing me to approve of their actions. That's morally reprehensible. But anyway, you're learning from it's seeing as you've eliminated the idea of family. You're learning from an industrialized system that teaches you to be nice and shut your mouth and not think. And you're learning from a system that forces you to please people in ways that are not moral, are not righteous in any way, shape, or form, but they please people, and that's always changing. That is no way to live your life. And if you come out of school and enter into the world with those as your guiding principles, or at least those ideas, or those standards as your standards and ideas, you're going to get fucked right up the ass. I apologize for the language, but I really don't, because nobody's going to watch these, so who cares? It's just me. But anyway, that's all because you eliminated the family, which is the initiation into society. Your family life's the initiation into society. So, in conclusion, I want to, and time out here. I'm not the best Catholic that I can be, and I don't pray as much as I don't pray nearly as much as I should. But I will say a prayer tonight. And, time in. The prayer I'm going to say tonight, is going to be to strengthen families across the world. And I praise you if you have a strong relationship for your family, and I seek for you to strive to do even better in your family, and then take that love and that structure, that rock that you have, and show other people the benefits of them, and encourage them to establish something like that in their own households. And then I want to pray for the people that don't have a role model, don't have some idea of what their family should look like. And I want to pray that they can see the light and put their families together, because if you don't have a strong God-driven family, you're only going to get led down this path that leads to the culture of death that we have in the modern world. So that's it. Happy Thanksgiving. God bless families around the world, and God bless you crazy people. This is Lucas Johnson signing out.